in Davos. Really delighted now to be joined by Chris Larsen, CEO of Ripple. Tell me, how does what you're doing fit into the fourth industrial revolution?
Yeah, it was a very exciting time. So much change going on. And one of those additional changes that I think will be part of this fourth industrial revolution is this notion that we now have this internet of value. We're moving into a world where value, money, payments is moving like information already does on the internet. And that's a big deal because until now, the world is sort of a lot of siloed payment networks, country by country, or Visa to M-Pesa. They don't talk to each other, and because they don't talk to each other, everybody suffers from the poorest working class, underbanked consumer, to the thriving small business, to the biggest global corporation. They're all paying a very steep price because our world of money and payments is not interoperating, is not working as one. And we now have new technologies, whether you call them blockchain or distributed ledgers or whatever we call them. Bottom line is, this is the beginning of an internet of value, where value will be able to move like information, where it will move instantly, basically for free, as a free infrastructure. And that's a good thing. That now provides access to people, whether they're in growing economies in Africa or in the rich countries in Europe and the U.S. Or in China. It will give them more value that they can use for their families because they will get better access to the global economy. They're simply going to be taxed less from the friction that we've had in the past. And then kind of looking forward, I think you really see this almost futuristic world where, here at Davos, they're talking about Internet of Things. Well, now layer on this Internet of Things, these billions of cars, devices being connected. Now suddenly they are also commerce connected. So things are buying, selling, keeping money. You can imagine the self-driving car that's paying an ambitious coder in Kenya to upgrade its self-driving, systems. It's paying some embedded device in the road here in Davos to use the road, and it's collecting money from consumers or maybe even other things that might want to hitch a ride in that self-driving car. So suddenly now you could argue that billions and billions of new economic participants have arrived on Earth who can be taxed, who will have identities. And I think, some people would say, well, that's going to put everybody out of work. I would argue that, if they are economic actors, GDP goes up, taxes go up. You can use those taxes to help some of the people that have been left behind in the past. That becomes a pretty interesting world. Obviously, it's just beginning. Lots of things have to happen. Regulation has to happen.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together, and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we had Chris Larsen back in 2016 at Davos. And like I stated, guys, it's not by chance of this Ripple XRP and SEC case. Remember, this case is nothing but a movie to help Gary Gensler kick the regulation can down the road while the emerging markets rise. And we know they're going to rise because of the fourth industrial revolution. And what does Chris Larsen talk about? The fourth industrial revolution. That means that he knows the plan from beginning to end. That's the whole purpose of Davos. So the main leaders get together and discuss their strategy. Guys, you're moving through a plan. This was 2016. We're in 2023 now. And Chris Larsen was talking about driverless cars, entities that are not humans, but that will be taxed. He talking about the whole strategy 7 years ago, people. It's time for you to wake up. Take this video, spread it to your friends and family, because time is running out. And how we know time is running out? Because we get Elon Musk gets FDA approval for Neuralink. And we know he's not the only one. Remember, I did a video, Synchron, where Elon Musk wanted to team up with them. But guys, we know this is definitely biblical. And we know why this is the chosen generation, because they're the farthest away from the Most High. We know majority of the millennials and Generation Z do not read the Bible and don't know the Bible. Now, if you go to King James, we talking about the original King James, guys. When we look at the mark of the beast, it says in. If you look at these new versions of the Bible, it says on. Remember, the mark of the beast is in the body, guys, not on the body, inside the body. And we know what the purpose of is to change humanity. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. But we know first, in order for the NWO to get there, what do they set up? That's right, distractions. And we know that main event is right around the corner. And right now, though, we have the debt ceiling. And they're playing the Hegelian dialectic, and they're going to ride it to the end. And like I stated, I expect a conclusion to this May 30th. And we know then Democrats can blame Republicans on all the spending cuts. But guys, we know they had to do the spending cuts anyway in order to bring in the fourth industrial revolution. Remember, they have to destroy America to Babylon 2.0 and the United States dollar in order for the fourth industrial revolution to rise. The BRICS nations, the emerging markets led by China the Dragon, and that digital yuan backed by that digital SDR. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you about it and then also wrote about it a long time ago because he knew when it came to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, Brian, Fitch with really a shot across the bow to Congress, the ratings agency putting the U.S. on what's known as Rating Watch Negative, telling lawmakers to effectively raise the debt limit by the deadline, ensure debt securities are paid on time and in full, and keep levels of debt to GDP in check, or else risk a ratings downgrade from AAA. Fitch says it still believes there will be a resolution before the deadline, but it believes, quote, risks have risen that the debt limit will not be raised or suspended before the X date. That's the deadline by which the Treasury effectively runs out of cash, and consequently that the government could begin to miss payments on some of its obligations. So far, the other two larger credit agencies, S&P and Moody's, monitoring the developments closely. Many market participants don't actually expect any kind of credit downgrade unless an interest or principal payment is missed. You can kind of see that from what equities are doing at this hour. But absent a bona fide default, S&P and Fitch have indicated in recent weeks that a delay in non-debt service payments or even letting the deadline lapse could have credit implications. Moody's told Reuters yesterday that it may change its outlook before an actual default if lawmakers indicated a default might be expected. So to many, the whole situation is really reminiscent of 2011. At this point in the debt ceiling debate 12 years ago, S&P and Moody's had already placed the U.S. on warning, and then subsequent to legislation to actually raise the debt ceiling on the day of the deadline, S&P downgraded the U.S. anyway, citing political brinksmanship. That's when volatility really took hold of the market. So even though it's been sanguine so far, prior episodes show that it may not be over quite yet, as you can see from that chart.
On going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.